suggests that it's not just about being black or a funny,
All right, so there is some craziness going on right now in the UK, and I have to cover it. So this story, even if you don't know anything about British politics, there are multiple layers here, and a lot of it is incredibly entertaining to watch. No. Now, let me first show you the story here that, look, this is largely bad news. So 7 MPs leave Labour Party in protest at Jeremy Corbyn's leadership. So here are the 7 MPs. You have Chuka Umiana, Luciana Berger, Mike Gapes, Chris Leslie, Angela Smith, Ann Coffey, and Gavin Shucker. Now, a lot of these MPs, or I should say all of them, they have more conservative politics, definitely more conservative than Jeremy Corbyn. But there's even more to it. So let me just first start by showing a couple examples of how out of touch these MPs are. So this quote here, this tweet from Momentum, quote, Jeremy Corbyn and those around him are on the wrong side on so many international issues, says Mike Gapes, who voted for the war in Iraq and against investigations into it. So at least one of the candidates here are criticizing Jeremy Corbyn on his foreign policy positions. Meanwhile, this is somebody that voted for the Iraq war. Now, you also have this tweet here from Calum Sherwood. Gavin Shucker threatened to resign from the shadow cabinet if Labour supported gay marriage. He should have been deselected for the act of bigotry alone. So again, these are like, people will call them centrists, but they're not centrists. These are more conservative minded individuals. And actually, Owen Jones breaks this down on BBC.
I think what should happen now, the decent thing to do, would be to stand in a by-election. They were elected on a manifesto which supported public ownership of utilities, higher taxes on the rich in order to end austerity, the scrapping of tuition fees. All of these things are overwhelmingly supported by the British people. The polling shows that. And if they want to break from that in favour of what I think is old politics of the 1990s, which isn't relevant to the world of the financial crash after people are angry, understandably, with the elites who plunge this country into crisis after crisis and walk away.
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt you just to remind you, Chris Leslie just spoke about the Labour leadership, and all of them have said they've left with a heavy heart, being hijacked by the politics of the hard left and that ideological divide, attempt to divide the country. Can you see why they're saying what they're saying?
Well, again, the policies that Labour are putting forward are objectively, according to every poll, supported by the vast majority. If Labour are hard left because of their policies, then so are most of the British public. I mean, the polling shows about over 80% of people support public ownership of water, over 3/4 rail, energy. Angela Smith is one of the MPs who's just left. She spent the local elections writing for the Murdoch Press last year, opposing the public ownership of water, which the vast majority of people support. So I think we'll hear a lot of the word centrist over the next few days. In reality, they're not centrist. The real centre ground of public opinion is support for public ownership, higher taxes on the rich, and ending austerity.
Okay, Owen, I'll leave it there just for a minute because we do want to get in a lot of stuff.
All right, so Owen Jones there mentions a lot, but he brings up Angela Smith. So Angela Smith is one of the splitters here from the Labour Party. She had quite a day following this whole thing. So let me just start with something just to ease you into it. So this is from The Guardian. Good riddance. Pennystone locals have their say on Angela Smith resignation. The MP's constituents are expressing mixed feelings about her move to leave Labour. So she barely won her race. So I believe she just won by over 1,000 votes against a Tory in that race. So this is somebody who already isn't very well liked in her riding. But watch this clip. So this is Angela Smith on the day that they announced this split from the Labour Party. Watch, just watch.
You know, the recent history of the party I've just left suggests that it's not just about being black or a funny, different from the BME community, but the Jewish community equally.
Okay. So if you didn't catch that, Angela Smith said there's black people and then people that are, a funny tinge. I don't even know what the hell she's talking about, but I guess she was referring to people that are mixed race. They're a funny tinge. Just look, personally, I'm not offended by this, but it shows you how ignorant these people are, just how completely unaware. They don't even know how to approach these issues. They don't even know what language to use. It's incredible. Now, Angela Smith, of course, had to issue an apology on this. So she tweeted out her video saying, "I'm really sorry that I misspoke earlier on Politics Live. Here's my statement." So this, again, this is the first day. This is the first day that these 7 MPs break off from the Labour Party to form this independent group, which no one really understands what they're even for, because they don't appear to be for anything, at least yet. But let me and actually to showcase that, here is Ash Sarkar on Politics Live in that same segment, mentioning how Angela Smith and these MPs aren't for anything.
What are the issues that people are going to be voting on? Not being Jeremy Corbyn, unfortunately, is not a manifesto in itself. People are going to be looking at things like your record on water privatisation. You're like one of the last people left in this country who still believes in it. They will look at the fact that you're on the all-party water group, which is mostly paid for by the water industry, and they'll go, you know what, that stinks of corruption.
Can I just say, right, just very good, because I must ask Dan.
So Ash hits on something here. She hits on exactly what unites these 7 MPs, and that's private interests. So check out this tweet from editor at The Guardian, Jim Watterson. If you want an example of UK electoral law loopholes, the independent group, which looks, swims, quacks a lot like a political party and is asking for donations, is actually a private company. So it isn't subject to electoral law rules requiring them to declare financial backers. So the one thing that does unite all these MPs is that they are boosted by private interests. Private interests that you can't even see. You can't see who they are because this party is under a private group. So it goes even farther. So at their launch, the launch of this took the same approach. So this tweet from Ross Kempsell. Venue for the independent group launched this morning has day delegate rate of around £130. 3 rooms hired at total capacity 110. It wasn't cheap. Was billed to Splitter MP Gavin Shucker's firm Gemini One, so we can't know where the money came from. I mean, this speaks for itself. These MPs don't like the direction that Jeremy Corbyn is going in, because the direction that Jeremy Corbyn is going in is away from for-profit private interests and towards policies that are in the best interests of the British people and are supported by the vast majority, according to polling, policies that are supported by the vast majority of people in the UK. So this all appears to be a way to try and take energy out of the Labour Party and their potential to form government in the future. Because look, as funny as a lot of this is, unfortunately, this could potentially have a serious impact on Labour's ability to form government in the next election. But we're just going to have to wait and see.